Hi, everybody. This is Charu and me on the Poonam PVT show, and we're having a great time. Thank you. Any incident that happens in my life which could shatter me, I think of Charu and say, who am I to complain? You know, she's got this chest congestion or anything. You call her up, how are you doing? I'm okay, I'm fine.
How do we carry Charu's beautiful smile, into our own life, especially when everything feels like it's falling apart?
Like she said, remember, first of all, have no expectations. Take leave, and that nurse was to take her for a shower. They dropped Charu. Okay, now you drop Charu. It was her one knee and her femur that broke.
Oh my God.
And they did not even realize this for 10 days to make you pee.
Are you serious? For
Yeah.
10 days? When you finally held the book in your hand, after 4 years of the work that went to
Yeah.
get this book out, what was your first emotion that washed over you completely?
That finally the world is going to know. My only wish for Charu, the only thing I want is the world to know how much you have suffered, alone, quietly,
And never complained.
and never complained. Poonam, I cannot even imagine leaving your child in the morgue and you coming home.
Hello and welcome to the PVT Show podcast. I am your host Poonam Vijay. On this show, I bring to you conversations with leading authors and top leaders who energize the mind, challenge the norms, and awaken a purpose. It's all about conscious growth with one powerful book and one powerful story at a time.
True courage isn't in living without pain, it's smiling through it. And today I sat down with two women who captured that grace on paper. Charu Malik and Anjali Nanavati co-authored Wings of Courage, the story of resilience. Diagnosed with muscular dystrophy at the age of 20, bedridden for over 20 years, on assisted breathing for the last 10 years, she lost her only son when he was just 17. And yet, she never complained, she only inspired. This book, that was 4 years in the making, carries that smile. It carries her resilience, her faith, and her light. So much so that legends like Hrithik Roshan and Kapil Dev lent their voices to it. But this isn't only Charu's story. It's a mirror for all of us. A reminder that while we chase targets, titles, and milestones, true victory is the ability to stand tall in the face of life's hardest blows. Come, join me, rather join us as we go behind the making of Wings of Courage. I'm so honored to welcome Charu and Anjali together on the PVT show, where we have conversations that build resilience. Let's dive deep. Welcome to the PVT show.
Thank you, my
Welcome.
dear. Thank you.
How are you doing?
Very well. Thank you, my dear, and hope you too. God bless.
Anjali Nanavati ji,
Ji.
you are most welcome on the show today, along
you.
with your beautiful friend Charu.
Correct.
Charu, welcome to the PVT show.
Thank you so much.
I'm
You're the beautiful one.
I'm so honored to be having you on the show with Anjali.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Charu, how do you feel about I holding this beautiful book with your beautiful picture and Alok and everyone? How do you feel about this labor of love of yours?
Well, feel very good that I could talk about my life. And it was like living my whole life again. And with Anjali to hear my whole story. And I hope I could help people who are very down in the dumps mentally, if they read the book, and hope they can get, picked up mentally.
I hope and I wish, and honestly, I am praying to Baba that this is the whole endeavor of doing this podcast. so that not only your story, this is one of the finest books I have read with such a difficult topic. And I would like to begin this conversation with what, because everybody will instantly connect to what I am reading right now. Mr. Hrithik Roshan has given the foreword of your book, and he wrote, "The book you hold in your hands chronicles the life of my friend Charu. Her journey, filled with numerous challenges, heartbreak, and unwavering courage, has left an indelible mark on my soul, more so because I have lived that life through a movie of mine, Guzaarish. The experience was captured in a 3-hour screen time, whereas she has lived this life for almost 40 years." And then he says something which is very inspirational. "Let her story inspire you, uplift you, and remind you of the resilience that lies within all of us."
That's very true.
Charu, if I were to ask you very simple question, if you have to summarize your life for someone who is right now going through any kind of a difficult time, how would you do that?
I would probably just advise everybody that surrender to the Almighty and Baba, and accept whatever He brings in our lives with a lot of gratitude. Because that's the only way in which you can go through all the challenges. And trust God that He will never do anything wrong for us. I still feel God is very kind. And we are His children. So as a parent to a child, nothing can go wrong.
How sweet.
This is the way I have passed my life.
You're so inspirational.
Thank you so much.
I think now that we have been able to bring you, you can witness and watch as we record this conversation with Anjali. Just enjoy, sit, relax, and I will, whenever during this conversation, if you feel that you want to give any input, please feel free to, and we'll be very happy to come back to your side.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anjali,
Yes.
again, welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
Thank you for flying down all the way from Bangalore to do this with us here in
you.
our Mumbai studio.
Thank you.
I am very, very honored to be having both of you, both the authors of this wonderful book, which I'd like to show to everyone on the screen. This is Wings of Courage. And absolutely, it was not very easy for me to be reading this story. It's a difficult story.
It is.
I want you to reflect back and tell the audiences, how did you think of, along with Charu, what was the thought process to bring a book and the story alive in this form?
Okay. This whole thing actually began, Charu and me, we go back like almost 60 years. We were in school together. And backbenchers, we would sit in the attic, all that stuff. And then our respective husbands took us in different directions. So I lived out of the country for almost 18 years. She was in Lagos. We had lost touch. And then her father had passed over, and by that time she had moved to Delhi because she was starting to deteriorate. And which I wasn't aware. When she was in Africa, we were not in touch. And so when she started deteriorating, she had moved to Delhi. Her husband moved her to Delhi. It would have been easier for them to take care of her. Again, I was unaware. She lost her father and she had flown to Bombay. That's when I flew to Bombay as well. We were living in Minneapolis at that time. I had gone back to meet my parents. And when I heard Charu's dad had passed, because I was very, very fond of him as well. And I went over to meet Charu. And I thought, now I'm meeting Charu after like almost 20, 25 years. We're going to really give each other a hug, like you and me gave each other a hug, even though we don't know each other. And she didn't move from her bed when I went in. And I was like, okay, maybe she's exhausted from this whole, having lost a dad and everything. So I was just sitting with her and we started chatting. And then suddenly a fly came and sat on her head. And all she's doing is just shaking her head like that. So instinctively, without even thinking about it, I just shoot the fly away. And we kept talking, and she kept telling me about her son and how her marriage and how she's eloped, which she's mentioned in the book and everything. And we were just talking of all that. And suddenly her mate came in, Ritu, who has been her lifeline. She came in and she moved Charu's legs from one side to another. And I said, Charu, what was that? And she just casually mentioned that she has muscular dystrophy, and she continued talking about her son. Move on, fast forward a little bit. I had come back to India again after a year, and I met her mom, an amazing woman. I met her at one of the shops out there, the Bhelpuri shops or whatever. And she told me Charu's son is very unwell. So I called up Charu, and she told me more details about her son. And the next thing I know, when I was visiting again, I called her up and I said, how's Alok? And she said, he's gone. And I said, gone where? And she said, he's passed on. Next day, I was on a flight to Delhi to be with my dear friend. I want to tell you, Poonam, when I walked into that house, her husband opened the door and welcomed me. I went in to meet Charu. That's when, of course, one realized she was completely bedridden. She couldn't even move. So they had kept her head in a certain way that when I would come in, I would be able to sit on the chair and talk to her. But she could not see when I walked into the room. Yeah. I mean, when I visualize everything, when I spoke about this last time, I was tearing up. And I walk into the room. She did not tear up. Her husband did not tear up. In fact, they're asking me how do I get comfortable, because I was going to stay with her for 3 days. But the pain, that is what hit me about this girl and her husband, was the pain in their eyes. And here I was, when I started listening to her, I spent 3 days with her and listening and seeing what all she has been through. It was like, here's me, I complain with the traffic, I complain with the washing machine conking off, and look at her. And I said, Charu, we need to talk. I want to write down every single thing that you have been through. And I think we need to write a book, because people like us, the so-called, should I say, I don't even want to use the normal, but people like us, we complain about the most stupid things in life.
Yeah.
And here is a couple who has just been through hell and are still able to smile. I need to get behind this. I need to know more to gain strength, not only for me, but the world needs to know. What is this girl made up of? That's how we started writing notes and talking to each other. She didn't want this book. Let me tell you, Charu, I'm complaining about you. She didn't want this book, but it was something that had to be done because the world needed to know. And that's how we started writing. Poonam, when it was done, we were laughing, who's going to read it now? And it would probably have been A4 papers, but that's when Sunil came in, spoke to Rupa Publications. And that's how the whole thing
And here we
today is the book. Here is the book. Yeah.
I inherently believe in the power of divine.
100%.
And everything will have divinity, not by the virtue of divinity being there, but by the virtue of acceptance of divinity to be guiding us in a certain way. And when that guidance happens, things just move. We are surprised that how this is happening, how that is happening. I think I sitting with you is also a fabulous story because it was just one message to your hubby,
Yeah.
Mr. Ajay, and he said, yes, we are doing this. And here you are sitting with me all the way from Bangalore. It was as easy as, and there are so many troubles and problems and, schedules not matching up and meeting when I sit with people who are like 5 kilometers away from me here in Bombay. And this was the most smooth. So when the approval of divine is there, it just flows and happens.
Absolutely.
I want you to reflect back on how would you want to compare this girl now that you have said that 60 years you've spent together. Let's go
Yeah.
back to your very happy school days.
Yeah.
Who was Charu as a girl and who then she became as a woman?
Okay, that's an interesting thing because Charu was literally, like I would say, the quiet fly on the wall. She would never really converse with people. I don't remember her really being very sociable. Very few friends, Charu. Would you like to say anything? And yeah, and she was the kind, like we've spoken about it in the book, she was terrified even of injections. She was terrified of anything that meant pain. And then to see her mature into what she has been through. Now, let me warn you that, I can't say warn, but let me tell you that probably only 80% of her pain has been expressed in this book. Okay? And 20% is what is not expressed. And when I would listen to her and see her strength, the way she was going through things, which many things I wouldn't like to talk about since I haven't written about it in the book, but she would just, then of course I saw her going through everything quietly with amazing forbearance. And then when she would tell me her story and I would reach a sad part, I would start crying. Poonam, I would not talk to her for 3 or 4 days because I would be so depressed hearing about it. And then I would call her up and she said, it's okay, Anju. Here is the woman who's been through the pain and she's consoling me that it's okay. So from where to where, from being that shy little kid, she suddenly blossomed with God's grace and her faith into a real woman of substance. That is the woman she's become.
You both simply love Baba.
Absolutely.
What is that connection between two friends?
It's always been, okay, anything that would happen, we would say, Baba's grace. Anything, even us coming together after so many years, it was just a by the by. It just so happened, and it was because her mother told me, and then our connections, reconnection again, and then our friends who are also Baba devotees. So it was all, I'm talking of Sonu. This is another friend of ours who has so much faith in Baba. And how when I was living abroad most of the time, when Alok passed on, and Sonu would sit and listen to everything what Charu had to say, again a Baba devotee. I mean, Baba would put people in our lives just to make sure that Charu could be comfortable.
That's divine grace.
It is 100% only divine grace.
You want to reflect on what the story is all about in the book? What is Charu's story?
Charu's story is about how it all began and when she was in Lagos. And this is how...
Let's begin with the marriage.
Oh, with her marriage? Okay. Charu, she ran away. So, do you want to tell that part, Charu? Why
Is there
don't
in the
you
book?
talk about it? It's there in the book.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you want to share that?
And I
Let
was
it come.
smiling. And when I was reading that, I was like, wow, those are guts.
Isn't that a woman of courage? So
Yeah,
maybe she
yeah.
had the latent courage,
Yes.
which she just hid for long. Why
Dormant
don't you
courage.
talk? Exactly.
Someone who was always quiet at school and to land up doing something like this. I mean, everyone was just shocked.
Correct.
And she just ran away, and she eloped. Her husband flew, her fiance then or boyfriend then flew in from Lagos, and they had this quiet wedding in a gurdwara, and just a few of her friends. And Sunil did have his mum, I think, there, but that's how she got married. And then she came home, and she told her parents that she was married. You can imagine the shock on their face, because apparently Sunil is related to her too. So he had originally come over to stay. That's how their love story began, because he had come from Delhi to stay with Charu for a few weeks, I think, till he was being interviewed or working on a job. I'm sorry, I haven't focused too much on Sunil, so I don't really recollect, but I do know he was there in Bombay, and that's how they met. Their love story began till he had to go and make a living, so he had flown to Lagos. And then the love continued through snail mail, because their letters, they didn't have post boxes or something where they could send the mail to Bombay.
This
So
was 1987.
Yeah,
88,
87, 88? Yeah,
1980.
1980. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, in fact, she would have to give Sunil would have to give letters to somebody going to Bombay at the airport and request them. So he had bought a whole lot of stamps, imagine. And he would keep ready envelopes where he would put the stamps and have request somebody at the airport to mail it to Charu. And that is their snail mail love story.
Wow.
Can you imagine? And then she would mail it to him, and I don't know how their romance continued. It did, till they finally decided, let's get married. So they decided to elope. Charu always had this dream of marrying in a gurdwara. And that's what they did. So they fulfilled her dream. And they were married, and then they moved to Lagos. And she lived there till one fine day she was hit a crazy 105 fever. And she could not even, for her to talk to her parents, they would have to drive like an hour away, where she would be able to talk to her parents and just say hi, hello, and whatever's going on in her life, only on Sundays, the day Sunil would have leave. And now when she got this fever, they couldn't even go, they couldn't inform their parents. So their parents had no idea what Charu was going through. And Charu feels, nobody knows why, what happened, but Charu felt possible that this could have been a reason of your body immunity going down so badly when you're so sick. Maybe that's how the infection or whatever set in. And slowly she was on a holiday. Do you want me to tell you further about it? Yeah. She was on a holiday in London, and she couldn't even climb the first floor of the hotel they were staying in. And it was like, okay, they have flown first class and they've got a limo to take them. And what is she tired about? Nobody could understand. Sunil, in fact, Charu and Sunil had taken Sunil's mother along for the holiday. The senior lady could walk up, but not Charu, walking up the staircase on the first floor. And so there was something not right. And then she had flown to Bombay to be with her parents. And they decided that if she couldn't even climb up the first level, so much exhaustion, what's the matter? Let's get it checked out. And that's when she even found out she was pregnant. But too many things happened, and the baby, unfortunately, naturally aborted. She went through a lot of checkups, everything. They had a lot of confliction. One doctor told her muscular dystrophy, another thought it was something else. And they went through she went through a lot of steroids. She was put on a lot of medication. Sorry, I'm talking to you in third person while you're here. But she had to go through this. She even went through Ayurveda. Her mum, her sister, and Charu went to this place where they were hoping some natural treatment would help, but nothing. Unfortunately, then she visited her uncle in the US. She would visit Dr. Oh God, Charu, jog my memory. Who was it? UK doctor? John.
Walton.
Sir Walton, yeah, in the UK, who was an expert on muscular dystrophy, who also checked her. It seems there was one more patient who had this issue, but in the UK. And when he heard about it, he ran away because he didn't want to know further.
Oops.
Can you imagine? So they had no idea where Charu's disease is going to lead her, to what extent.
It's rarest of the rare diseases.
Now, apparently, they have
Awareness is
found
there.
out there's awareness. There are more people who have this. But to the extent that Charu has deteriorated, today there is no part of her body that moves, but her mind is brilliant. When, like you say, God closes the door, he opens. I don't know, in her case, hundreds of windows have been opened for her. And in fact, when WhatsApp just came in, I'm a complete tech buddhu. She asked me which phone I had, and she guided me through the whole thing to how to download WhatsApp. Because Alok was an expert with phones. He loved phones. So she now has become the expert with anything technological. You tell about medicines, I call her my quack doctor. If I'm not well, I'll call her. Okay, what do you think I should do?
Observatory skills have gone up.
And her memory. She remembers things so well because her connect with the doctors. Because even the doctors are seeing that this woman, despite, now from girl she's become a woman, despite all her issues that she has been through in life, Poonam, she doesn't complain. Okay, you will never hear her complain. I know this woman is, she's got this chest congestion or anything. You call her up, how are you doing? I'm okay, I'm fine. And she'll worry more about me and maybe some stupid thing that I have told her. She'll ask me about that. But she's always fine. What else can I tell you about her?
Then so what I understand is it took a lot of time to even understand and pin on it that this is this disease.
Yeah, because it was like, yes, it is muscular dystrophy, then it's not. I think it was called IBM, right? Charu? Yeah. I'm sorry, I've forgotten a little bit. I'm a little bit of a senior citizen, space cadet. But after that, then again, it came back to muscular dystrophy. And the tests that she has been through, it, like putting pins into her. And she goes alone, okay, for the test the first time because she has no clue what it concerns, what it's going to be. And she was extremely close to her father. So when she finished with the tests and went home to her dad and just broke down in his arms, I mean, I wasn't there, but I can just visualize the scene where it was finally, yes, it's muscular dystrophy. And going to degenerate. And according to the doctor, she should have passed over maybe within a few years. They told her that, you would slowly go on a wheelchair, slowly you would be completely like no
Immobile.
movement. Yeah, you would be completely mobile, but she can feel everything. Okay, she can feel pain, but she cannot move. And through this, once her angel, her maids, her help, they're called angels because they're the ones who help her through everything. Ritu was to go on leave. So they brought in a nurse for, while Ritu would not be there. And that very day that the nurse comes in, when they take it, okay, this is another thing I have to tell you. When I went to meet Charu, I was still not 100% sure of how deeply hit she was with this disease.
Yeah.
And when they picked her up to take her for a bath, she was just like a limp rag doll. Okay, that's when it kind of hit me how dependent she was on anyone and everyone for everything. Today we feel thirsty, we can pick up a glass of water and drink it. She's upset, or if we are upset, we'll walk out of the house, we'll want a change of scene, anything. She can't move until somebody doesn't take her. All these things, when it hits you. Now, she was supposed to die. I'm sorry, I'm jumping. She was supposed to die in a few years. And she's still there. She lost her son. She lost her mobility. And when she was being taken, that time when Ritu was to take leave, and that nurse was to take her for a shower, they dropped Charu. Now, because that's what I was
They were not
saying.
trained to do it.
She was still learning, and she dropped Charu.
Oh my God.
Okay, now you drop Charu. Both her femurs were, it was her one knee and her femur that broke.
Oh my God.
And they did not even realize this for 10 days. She was going to imagine having somebody to lift you with that pain to make you pee.
Are you serious? For
Yeah.
10 days?
Now, she has no muscle. Okay, so how do you help somebody who has no muscle? Where do you put pins, and where do you put her body together? So apparently she had this nail going through her knee. I still haven't, I've asked her a dozen times how. I still haven't understood it. But she had that in her knee, and she had that broken femur bone, which was just kind of wrapped up temporarily in a cast and removed. And I can't even express. Imagine if you are all the time in bed with these broken bones, and you have to be given a bedpan. You have to be lifted.
Yeah.
So imagine moving.
That is so painful.
Even that. I don't know what she's made of. I don't know what she's made of. She has borne through every pain. Okay, now moving a little further. She was told not to have children. Then she was told maybe to have a child might help her because it might cause change in hormones or, that happier frame of mind. And she has Alok. And Alok was because Charu felt that she's not going to live long. She felt her gift to her husband whom she loves so deeply that is my gift when I pass on. And then when they realized that Alok is not well, kidney issues, the husband giving one kidney, and how he deteriorated, Charu would see how he would have, because of all the things they never expected when his immunity was so low that he would develop fungal infection. And when he developed fungal infection, Charu says that Alok was her strength, because this kid, Alok, would also always be like, you ask him anything and he would say, I'm fine. if he had to take medicines, he would first offer them to Baba and then take his medicine.
रुकावट के लिए खेद है. अगर आपको हमारा कंटेंट और कॉन्वर्सेशंस अच्छे लग रहे हैं तो प्लीज लाइक, सब्सक्राइब एंड शेयर करिए अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स और फ्रेंड्स के साथ. Thank you so much for watching.
Let's talk about Alok a little bit.
Okay.
How was he as a child?
I know I'm jumping from here to there. There's so much of Charu and her story in my head, so I'm just jumping here and there.
And then the doctor said that she cannot conceive. She conceived twice. And the second time, Alok.
And once the baby aborted naturally. Then second time they asked her to abort.
Okay.
Yeah. And then third time she finally had Alok.
Okay.
And that's how he came, because she was like, come what may, this child is my gift to Sunil. And he will look after Charu.
Please.
Yeah. So he would look after Sunil. And then, so they finally had Alok. But imagine now, you're a mother.
Any story behind calling him Alok?
Yes.
Was that?
The doctor who came out, again, Charu's cousin, the doctor who came out of the hospital room, of the operation room after Charu delivered, coming and telling Sunil that it's a boy.
Yeah.
And the doctor, it was Dr. Alok who came and gave the news. Yeah. So he said that I'm going to call my son Alok. And that's how Alok got his name. Yeah.
How sweet is that?
And today Alok stands for the angelic light of kindness, which is a trust that Charu runs to help people who need her help.
Yeah. How was Alok as a child? How did the child changed Charu?
Okay, see, I wasn't around. Those were the years when I was abroad and I wasn't so much in touch with Charu. But what I do know from her story, what she has told me, this child never felt that there was something different about his mom. He never thought, oh, she's on a wheelchair. Why are other mothers running around and roaming around and playing and blah, blah, blah. In fact, he would be the one pushing her wheelchair. And she has this beautiful memory when she told me about it, that he would peep under the chair and he would look at her. And once she had gone for a party and he would pick up, because all the parents were all eating snacks and all, and his mother couldn't pick up a snack to eat. And he picked it up and put it in his mother's mouth. That was the caring child that he was. Proud of his mother, whatever she is. There was no difference. So what if she's on a wheelchair? He would be the one pushing the wheelchair. These are stories that, I'm sorry,
Please.
that I have heard Charu tell me, that what an amazing child he must have been.
When I was going through the book, I inherently believe that, Baba has very mysterious ways of taking care of people. And I opened the book and see.
Yeah.
These are the things. I could have opened any other page. And, all I could see was in every page,
Yeah.
I've seen that suddenly Baba's words echoed in my ears. Stop all worrying. God has already worked it out. Get ready of your next miracle. So I think Charu inherently believed because of a reason, that there is always a hand that is around her, helping her, supporting her. And Alok, in this story, I'm sorry, I'm calling it a story because when I'm reading this book, I am not even able to fathom, though you are explaining and we are trying to feel, we are only trying to feel. We can't feel what she has gone through. I can clearly see that Alok is a manifestation that just appeared in her life. Because she had life and she has life. And this book becomes that extension.
And in fact, Alok coming into her life is her increase in her faith. Her mother would keep telling her when she was a kid
Yeah.
that whatever God does is for a reason.
Correct.
Have that faith. But then when Alok happened in her life, she saw it firsthand. She saw her faith. There's an incident which we've mentioned here where it is his birthday.
Yeah.
And he was in the hospital and he begged the doctor that let me go because it's Sai Baba's birthday. And he insisted on going to the temple. This was somebody's house where they were having the puja for Baba. And she says, that people just separated when Alok walked in. It was towards the end of the bhajan.
Yeah.
Now imagine on his way, from the hospital, he said, I can't go empty-handed. So I want to just pick up flowers for Baba. He picked up flowers from the roadside, and he goes to the temple and he puts it there. And when the bhajan is over and he's leaving, the people who own that home and so-called own that home, whose residence it was, they picked up the flowers to give back to Alok, and a shivling fell out of it. Now, you have bought flowers from a road.
Yeah.
Where does the shivling come from? And that shivling today sits in Charu's mandir because Alok would every day then pray to that shivling and drink the water and everything, and is there in the mandir. His faith, it was his complete devotion. I think that's what Charu had said, that brought Charu back. Because after all, once you're a mother, you do get so involved with your child.
Yes.
And you do, it is natural that it's not
that
you forget
about yourself.
Yeah.
You would want to.
Exactly. You forget yourself, you have forgotten everything. It's not that she forgot God ever. Never has she forgotten God. But it was like, the kid. It's now, let me focus on what I can, because it was Sunil who had to play mother and father to the kid. Not because Charu couldn't do anything. So in fact, when she could, she would teach him math. Like I said, she's the brain wizard out there. So she would teach him and all that. But actual physical caring, she could not do. In fact, when do I jump to it? When Alok passed, and that journey when she came home in the car, because one has asked her so many questions, I have been with her in that journey in her head. Poonam, I cannot even imagine leaving your child in the morgue and you coming home.
I couldn't read the book after those pages myself.
Yeah. And then when they brought him home, Charu wanted to kiss her son. And so when Sunil brought her close, she slipped and she dislocated her shoulder. So you can imagine, like, here is God telling her that don't be attached. Here is a son teaching her, don't be attached to bricks, mortar, matter, physical energies. What is it? This is not what life is. Look within. The whole thing, her journey is now to just look within, and that's where she's reaching. Today you talk to her, you can see that calm in her. Everything it's just right. Because she has found that life force within her to keep her going. We keep saying, spiritually, body doesn't matter, it's all the Atma and this and that. But we're still always so looking after our body.
That's the vehicle.
That's the
vehicle.
That's the vehicle. Which is the vehicle, yes. Which even that she has no control over.
Yeah. But still she's on.
But still, because she has found that inner light that's keeping everything alive.
I know. Now that I have read this book, it stays with me for a very long time. I mean, I'm not talking about the pain. I think this constant hope which is coming back on every page. You know, this when the whole life story is flowing, there's something which is shattering a human completely. And there's a controlled shattering that we can also endure. There is
Yeah.
no control here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable shattering is happening.
Yeah.
And then there is faith that is kicking in.
Yeah.
And then that faith is rebuilding.
Yeah.
Rebuilding. That rebuilding part was very impactful. You know, even coming to a book like this, bringing the emotions back, pain back, and it's not that the pain is over, it continues to be there. But with that pain parallelly, and Charu can hear us, there is faith which is again getting rebuilt. There is something now which is larger than a small life, which is my life, my family, my people. Now it's a larger goal. It's a much larger goal.
100%.
It's
That's
actually, at first I was a single one.
I was just going to
Now
say
I've
that.
become a universal one.
True.
Now
I
she's
agree, Charu.
helping.
Everyone who I feel comes to me for help.
Yeah.
I feel there's a reason why they come. They're probably giving me another reason to be pushing my life ahead.
You're absolutely right.
And you know, Poonam, one thing, everything, good or bad, has always happened on a Thursday. So Alok was a Thursday's child.
Yeah.
So he was Baba's child. But everything which had to be done with him,
Yeah.
he would always tell me, let's do it on a Thursday. But it so happened that every hospital admission in his life was a Thursday. And he leaves the world on a Thursday. So there's definitely some connection.
That's what I said, Charu. If you heard me, that Baba just manifested Alok for you. When doctors said no, Baba came in the picture and said, okay, doctors are humans. I'm here to take care of Charu, right?
That's very true. I mean, when I had to be God, I was told at 21 that I might be God in the next 8-9 years. I'm still here 40 years later.
And that's a miracle. And you are here for a reason. Because now your story, your book is going to give so much of courage to so many people. And that's the whole reason that we are having this conversation. I know it could be a little difficult for you to be talking about it again. But Charu, this is very important. Because we never know, even if one person is going to watch this and say that, what am I talking about? I mean, there's no problem in my life. I was looking at problems which are never a problem. It serves the purpose of your beautiful life.
I do. I hope via you I can connect to people who need help.
Right. Anju, what's that one moment with Charu that shattered your definition of courage? Your definition of courage now as a co-author.
What shattered my... Oh God, there were so many moments.
Your inherent belief system.
I think one was when her kid died. And then the next thing on the day of the launch for Delhi.
The book launch, you mean?
The book launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another thing where just a few days before that, for 35 years she has been in bed. She never had a problem. And then suddenly, just before that, of course God had to test her. She got a bed sore. which she's never had for 35 years. And that was like, what is it? And I asked her, I said, what kind of a deal have you made with God?
Yeah.
That, she's power packed. She's asked God to power pack all the problems into one life so she doesn't have to go through this again. I mean, after the book, if you think it's over, forget it. She's had so many other issues. That's when I felt, oh my God, it shattered me when she told me about the bed sore, and when I heard about Alok. These were the two things that just.
But still, she was
broke
there for
me.
the book launch in Delhi.
She was there. She came despite that, but it broke me that how much is God testing her.
Correct.
But still, she was smiling. This is the
But
first
she's winning
time
every single test.
she's winning it.
That's important.
Exactly. That she is, and I'm going to be really honest, and this is what I have fought with her about, that when you don't want people to know why, now suddenly people do know. It's giving meaning to her life.
Yes. Absolutely.
People, otherwise who's asking about you? Suddenly her family, her cousins, everybody, oh really, we didn't know that you were leading a life like this. And people are beginning to talk about their pains.
Yeah.
They're expressing and realizing, forget anybody else, when I have a little issue and I'm facing whatever, like when my Akshay was, very, very sick, I thought I'm going to lose him in Antarctica. Immediately I would think of Charu. Any incident that happens in my life which could shatter me, I think of Charu and say, who am I to complain? This is because she has become such a person of strength in our lives that people need to know.
True.
What she's about. That literally stop whining about the small stuff. Think about what this kid's going through.
I didn't have the courage to ask you if you could request Charu to be on the call today. And see, it took us 2 minutes. She said, yes, I'm coming, and she's speaking.
Yeah.
That is the real inherent courage of a human being. I think
absolutely.
We go to, I'm using a very, 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 what should I say, trivial example, but then we just go to the gym and work out for 45 minutes and feel the pain. We are sore and we feel, oh my God. And there are so many people, including me, so many times, that one soreness will not motivate me to work out again for next 3 days. And that's how you always hear people that I'm exactly talking about physical pain now, no mental pain. I'll come to the mental pain later. Little bit of soreness and we want to just not visit. Why? Because we experienced pain.
Yeah.
But we knew that we have a choice to stop that pain.
Exactly.
I won't go to that gym again. I won't go for 6 months. Here there is no choice. And then you are rebuilding yourself every day. That then talks about the mental perseverance.
Exactly.
You want to throw some light on that?
About
what
her.
have you seen? What is it that we can learn from Charu's life?
Oh, the first thing is, and this I've learned from my son as well, that when you are faced with the pain, okay, you got to realize that in her case, like you said, exactly what you said, it is not an option. Whenever we people are going through the pain, if we look at it in the full picture, we realize that how blessed we are to have got that pain, that we are the chosen one to have got that pain. If we are able to look at it in that perspective, does that make sense to you?
We never think like that. Any pain is like, why am I getting it? We always question, why
That's
me?
why the change of mindset. That is why, like you said, the mental pain. The first thing is to change your mindset. That's why she said gratitude. Thank you, because if you did not give it to us, how would we have grown? How would we have learned? The first thing a person needs to learn is to say, okay, thank you for this pain. Let me see now, how do I deal with it and how do I grow from it? Not say, I got a pain and, start whining about it. No, that's the first thing that I feel is the biggest lesson to learn.
How does one think when out of 5 people that one person is getting this troubled situation or pain? How does one think because we are constantly comparing ourselves with lives of the others. So there are 10 people, for example, in my network, in my family, in my work group, and I am getting this pain. So it's a constant blame game in my head that why am I being chosen for it? Why not someone else? We human beings think like that.
Okay, frankly, because I can't think like that, I'm not able to give you an answer as to why me, because I have never felt that. And I have also seen it with my kids, and I've seen it with Charu. She did question in the beginning, why me? And that's when she read, that I saw a boy I cried for shoes till I saw a boy with no feet. And she said, then why me? She had gone for a satsang. And the lady asked her, if not you, then who?
Yeah.
So would you wish it on somebody else?
No. No one should.
There you go. So why not you?
That's the right way of thinking.
Exactly.
Now, at this point, I am building acceptance because I don't want to say that it should happen to him, her, anyone else.
Right.
It's not good. It should not happen to anyone.
Anyone. Exactly.
Everyone should be blessed.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now it has happened to me. How do I think in that situation?
That how would
Acceptance has happened. Okay.
Yeah.
I am agreeing that this situation is in my life.
Yeah.
How do I start rebuilding myself from here? Because a lot of people give up. The suicide numbers are only up.
Yeah.
People are depressed. They're depressed after having all the amenities possible.
Yeah, but that is the
They can do whatever
weakness.
they want. Their body is with them.
Yeah.
The vehicle, as I said.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of that weakness everywhere these days.
It's mental weakness.
It is a mental weakness, which I think when you're being gifted too much and given too much, you don't have the appreciation of what you don't have. Today's kids, I mean, what I'm seeing is that you're not even allowed to fall.
Yeah.
How is the child going to learn then if you don't allow him to fall? If you don't allow, how are they going to learn mental strength? That means that they're thinking they're not capable of looking after themselves. So I think it begins with the parents.
You mean the parenting style?
100% the parenting style.
You want to decode a little bit what's happening with
Sure.
parenting style?
Yeah, because what I feel is today, every time, because I have seen this happening in front of us, if anything happens to a child, you have maids and domestic help and everyone around you helping you. So what is the child thinking? I'm not capable of looking. Yeah, I'm supported and I'm not capable. Somewhere he thinks he's not capable of looking after himself. And this was something that one felt from the beginning because I'm talking about with my 2 kids. I can only bring that example that my kid was scared of heights and Ferris wheels and everything. And I was adamant, face your fears. Otherwise, how will you learn in future? My oldest son, he has been diagnosed at 40 with Asperger syndrome, which is a high form of retardation. Okay, mental retardation of autism. And he lives alone in Armenia. Figure it out for yourself. But no, today we as parents, we are always protecting our children. We just want to give them the best. And we forget, that how are they going to learn to fend for themselves?
Yeah. And when the parents are gone,
And exactly.
we just immortalize ourselves. maybe.
Exactly. That's a correct way of doing it, putting it. We think we're here forever. Now today, at 65, my mind is thinking I'm 18, but the body is saying 65. You realize you're moving on in years. We all are.
I would never judge you to be 65. The first time I spoke to you, and greetings to you for that, I think we ended up speaking for more than 1 hour.
I
thought it was
know.
going to be a 5 minutes call.
Yeah,
And that was late in the
was
night.
so
After my work,
nice.
I messaged
Yeah.
you and you said, yes, we can talk. And I said, okay. And we ended up speaking for 1 hour as
Yeah,
if we were
which
very
was
old friends.
Just so nice. Yeah.
And so I know that my mom goes to bed because she wakes up very early. Like she's like too early for human beings, I would say. So we would like her to extend her sleep time, but so she's like 9 o'clock, she's done. And I was talking to her at 10:30 in the night, and we spoke till 11:30, I remember.
Oh,
And
wow.
you were full of life, and you explained, and I would never think that you are 60 plus. But
It's
that
a
passion
number.
and yeah, it's
It's a number, yeah. And I just feel that we all should have it. We should live for the moment. We should, if we're going to, like I said, I was complaining about washing machines and traffic when I met Charu. Life teaches you so much all the time if you're willing to learn.
true.
But half the time we think we know it all.
That's where the intervention happens.
Yeah.
I have some questions that when we discussed with people around us that we would be taking up this book, and if there are some questions that we can possibly just. So, Hrithik Roshan, when he said that let her story inspire you and remind you of the resilience that lies within us all. So, is there any one lesson from Charu's life you think corporate India needs to hear the most?
Would you like her to answer? Because it'll come from her.
Everyone should try and take a meaning out of their life. So if you actually forget about your own issues and try to help people, within your own limits who are in more need of help than we ourselves.
Right.
So the satisfaction you get out of doing that has really made my life great.
So well put.
Basically, just a surrender.
Hmm.
And just trust him. I mean, I don't even need to pray to Baba. I think Baba is with me, inside me all the time. And he just pushes me through with everything.
My next possible question for you to just help us understand would be, you have already covered it, but we complain about missed targets, appraisals, promotions, stock prices. What would Charu say to us when she saw those complaints?
When have no expectations, then you'll have no disappointments. So then all the complaints are forgotten. And look at the people who don't have anything. And we are so fortunate to have so much given to us by the Almighty.
True.
This is when our scriptures really come in handy. I mean, if we really start following, like the Bhagavad Gita, our scriptures, it's literally like you realize what he's trying to always explain. You are not the doer. Your biggest problem is your desires. You have to learn to realize you are not the doer. Your Prakriti, yes, it's making you do what you do, but it's you who's in control. For that, you have that free will given to you as to how you use it. But remember, ultimately, it is the Brahman.
I can talk to you on this for like 2 hours.
Exactly. That's why I better shut up
no.
this, because really
It's
can
my
get into
favorite
that.
topic,
Yeah. I think that's what caught, we kept on and on in the night when we started talking
getting
about
into this.
the Vedas. Yeah.
How do we carry Charu's beautiful smile, into our own life, especially when everything feels like it's falling apart?
Like she said, remember, first of all, have no expectations, because it's the desires and expectations Now you've reached a situation. You're trying to make it as practical as possible.
Yeah.
Right? The first thing, in fact, I just learned this from my son, is that look at it from as if it's a camera. Okay, what does a camera see? Camera is only seeing things as they are, right?
Yeah.
But we, in our mind, have made 100 stories around it. So the first thing is to try and see the situation as it is, right? If you're able to do that and not let this work over time, like, oh, she did this to me because I've gone into the
past
because,
and the future,
exactly.
both together.
But I'm not seeing the situation as is. I'm not living in that present moment. I think that's the first thing. If we learn to do that and be that camera of life and view it in the first way, I think is the first thing we can do is to bring that. That will help us to bring the smile back on our face.
How beautifully put. You would want to mention the name of your son because he's also an author. You just quoted him.
Yeah, Anjali Nanavati. In fact, Charu calls him now her son because, and he also looks up to Charu so much. He wrote his book Fearvana, and he's mentioned Charu in the book as well. Because here, Fearvana means, we all, whenever we get scared, we say, oh God, don't be scared, don't do this, don't that. What nonsense. He says, no. He says, fear is the path to nirvana. Because it's when you face your fear and you realize that weakness within you, you can overcome it. There is a nirvana in finding that weakness in you, and
working on the weakness.
Exactly.
That's where the work starts.
Instead of building on it.
It's a very powerful thought. And I love the name also.
Fearvana, isn't it a lovely name? Yeah.
Do you believe resilience is born out of... Yes, Charu, you want to say something?
Yeah. We pass our whole life thinking we are in control of things
Yeah.
and people. But actually you don't control anybody. Whatever happens is what God decides. So it's actually, I think, very tough for people when they don't believe in this. Because the moment you leave everything, I'm a total believer of, again I'm repeating it, surrender. And we don't control anybody or anything that happens. Whatever happens, God has thought about it already. He's written a book before we come onto this earth. So what are we trying to change?
Correct.
His dialogues or his story?
It's already there.
It's already written.
And just like an actor, the part has been given, so let's play it well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And we've chosen it. We've chosen our role in that play.
How we have chosen our role in that play?
Well, we all choose our lives before we come.
Some people believe in that
Sir.
theory, some don't, yeah.
We've all chosen that this is my life. This is what my life is going to be. And I want to go on to earth to be able to play that role. If we play it well, then we are a winner.
Correct.
And if we do something wrong, then we've lost.
Very well said. So do you believe that resilience is born out of suffering?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it a choice that we consciously can make, like Charu is making every day?
But I think it's suffering that makes you grow. Otherwise, where's the question? If you have a cushy life, where are you even going to try to grow? You're going to sit back and just enjoy the cushy life, aren't you?
So what we should pray for? Suffering for life?
No.
Life, what we should pray for?
Pray for being able to help people who need it.
Yeah.
And being grateful
That's
for
the
what
total.
we have.
That's the answer.
Really.
I agree.
Yeah.
I so very well agree. True. Okay, I am bringing you to the closure of this conversation because I don't want to really trouble Charu a lot. When you finally held the book in your hand, because you could do that
Yeah.
after 4 years of the work that went
Yeah.
to get this book out, what was your first emotion that washed over you completely?
That finally the world is going to know. Finally, it was a wish, my only wish for Charu ever since I've seen. I keep telling her that, Charu, the only thing I want is the world to know how much you have suffered alone, quietly,
And never complained.
and never complained. Poonam, you have no idea of the 80% that she has told me, which we shouldn't be. Why? Why bring it out in the book? There's no need. But this girl is a woman of pure substance. And I feel God
agree.
literally, He made the mold and broke it because He said, I don't think anybody can take this. At every step of her life, she has not had that joy. Now that this book has come, I know it's a very warped way of saying it, but finally people are giving her attention, which she has long gone deserved. So it's always been, I keep telling her, Charu would say, no, you go, you do. I said, I would not be there if you were not there.
True.
So it's about you. It's not about anybody else. Poonam, it's about this girl. She's back to being a girl because when I fight with her, we're back into that,
school mode.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yes.
Your story is also a beautiful story of two friends who started from the school.
Absolutely. And
know,
we
How
were
beautiful is that?
Yeah. And then we lost touch in between.
Did you
because of
ever
going
imagine
away.
that your names are going to be there
Imagine.
on the book
No,
cover
never.
forever?
I didn't even want
And
that
will-
name to be there because it's Charu. It's about her.
True, but then it's about you
You know.
two friends coming together and doing it together.
No, and the amount of time she has spent wanting to know my life
Yeah.
was the most beautiful thing.
It was a chance for her to able to talk. You know how we all feel lighter
Yes,
when
of
we
course.
sometimes talk about our problems.
Your story is a beautiful story of two friends from school.
It is. God bless, really.
I
God
see
bless.
so many good things that are there, not just in the book and this book to be there, but it's, everything from the life that you pick up. It's so beautiful. And I also, Charu, now that we are talking to you, would you want to mention how during COVID, when your helps were not there, they also got COVID? That chapter is also so heavy. And I was like, I got I was palpating because I said, oh my God, I don't want to read anything which is tough now. And you mentioned that after 12 days, life became little normal, which is totally not normal, but for her, it became normal. That's the beautiful part. And then, yeah,
That was probably one of the worst times of my life
true.
because I was worrying for my husband who was very, very sick, and he was the one looking after me because I had no help.
Yeah.
And the house was like a haunted house.
With everyone getting COVID and everyone in
their
own
rooms,
rooms.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Mr. Kapil
Yeah.
Dev had to send food.
His wife,
His wife,
imagine.
Romy.
Yeah.
Then they were sending
He
food.
said food every day. At 12, I would get a call. We left the food at your doorstep. Take it inside.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so beautiful. And I told her, I said we recovered because of your food.
Yeah. Because somebody had to send the food,
Yeah. Yeah.
when
And then
everybody
And
was
what
sick.
believe-
But Poonam,
believe
imagine.
this,
Let her finish. I'll
out
tell
of
you.
6 of us who had COVID,
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one who was non-symptomatic.
Because she has
I
a mom.
breathed with a BiPAP machine.
Correct.
So my lungs were still protected because of the machine. And my only worry was that my 4 angels,
Yeah,
nothing should happen to them. Because what will I tell their families
true.
that I couldn't help them during COVID?
But touch wood, all were
Or,
safe and
but
got
we
over.
must not forget at that time, Charu orders the medicines in the house. Charu administers everything. She tells everyone who has to take what. So there was nobody to hold that phone to call for the medicines.
Yeah.
Medicines were in shortage.
So how
There's
were the
nobody-
calls being made then?
Well, one of the maids who had lesser symptoms, she would just come in
For one.
for about
And-
5-10 minutes,
Oh, I
Give
thought
the
it was one.
phone.
double mask and double hand gloved.
Right.
So then I would, tell the chemist or my sister in Bombay, she would courier medicines from Bombay because we were six patients who needed it.
Can you see how she's struggling to talk?
Charu, what are your last words to the world through this podcast? Not really last words in this podcast. What are your last words that you want the world to hear from you? I am so honored that I am able to do this discussion also.
No, I just feel everyone should not worry. Enjoy your life and make a meaning out of your life.
How
I
sweet.
totally feel that, as I've told you, helping somebody who's actually in need.
Right.
And I'm in direct contact with all the people who I'm helping. I speak to them, help them emotionally also. But I think that is the only thing I would suggest to everybody. That's the way to thank God for all He's done for us. So it's only gratitude and acceptance, that's all.
Thank you so much, Charu. Thank you. I am
you.
so honored to be meeting you and talking to you, be able to see you, talk to you. I feel so honored. I never thought it that we will be able to do this. So all thanks to you for making this happen.
Thanks to you, I was telling Anju. I said, Anju, don't put me and you do it.
There was no way because there's no Anju, there's no Charu.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
just don't talk all this crap. Oh, sorry.
It's fine. You're friends. That's how friends speak. I'm happy. But I really wish for both of you to be in this blessed, beautiful relationship that you both are. I really pray and hope that everyone should get a friend like you, Anju, and a friend like you, Charu, who, now together are doing so many things, and everyone to be blessed and everyone to be blessed by Baba.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anju, your
Thank you.
parting words for the book. You should tell the world that everyone should be. I think this book is a beautiful read. It's not a heavy read. It's not a read that will make you feel low. It will give you those emotional, chapters within you. But it is going to make you come out of it. I have experienced it myself. So your parting notes before.
That whatever problems we are faced with, there's always a solution. There's always another way of looking at it. And if we search for the positive, we will find it. It's not even about positive and negative. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the whole concept is the positive and negative that we make out of it. And it doesn't have to exist.
So
you
well
know?
said.
Yeah. So just accept. Live. We've just got this. Who knows tomorrow? We've got this moment. Live it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you, my dear.
lived
God bless.
and loved talking to both of you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for this
Thank
show.
you so much.
Thank you.
I
Thank
really
you.
will wish that not just in India but entire world, if anyone is going through any problem in life,
They
this
should
is
read
the
this.
book that can just help you. You don't need any other help, but this will tell you that life is good.
Exactly. I've never seen anyone going through what this girl has.
Life is good.
Life is good.
Charu,
And look
life
at her.
is good.
She's still smiling.
Yes, life is good.
Mad woman.
Thank you.
Love you.
Yes, love you, Charu.
Same here.
God bless.